Where I think she was stronger was on the Iran deal. And here's the thing about the Iran deal that the American public seems woefully undereducated about, and that is a function, it seems to me, of the press. The deal that was struck with Iran was specifically about nuclear proliferation and was never about anything else. In fact, that was by design. Let's deal with the most important issue first. Putting everything else aside. Iran's support of terrorism, Iran's meddling in Syria, whatever it is, we put that aside. We deal specifically with nukes. Matt Lauer doesn't get that. And I don't think the American public does either, frankly. But let's hear Clinton's explanation of the Iran deal, which I thought was pretty good.
Question. Let me ask you about the Iran nuclear deal. It was signed under Secretary Kerry. It was begun under you. You started those talks. You have said you expect the Iranians to cheat. You think they'll buy time and perhaps stay along their course to building a nuclear weapon. If they cheat, Secretary Clinton, will you have any course of action other than a military course of action? Would you enter into negotiations with them again? Would you go back to economic sanctions knowing they cheated and are then closer to a nuclear weapon?
Matt, look, let me put this in context because this is one of the most important strategic questions we face. When I became Secretary of State, the Iranians were on a fast track to acquiring the material necessary to get a nuclear weapon. That had happened the prior 8 years. They mastered the nuclear fuel cycle, they built covert facilities, they stocked them with centrifuges, and they were moving forward. What was our decision? Our decision was to try to put together an international coalition that included Russia and China to exert the kind of pressure through sanctions that the United States alone could not do.
Right, but you said you think you're going to cheat.
Look, this is an important issue. I know we're on TV. We don't have a lot of time.
I want to get to a lot of questions.
I will talk quickly. But I want people to understand
I spent 8 questions asking the same thing about emails.
I put together the coalition. We imposed the sanctions. We got them to the negotiating table. And after I left, we got the agreement. That agreement put a lid on their nuclear weapons program and imposed intrusive inspections. I have said we are going to enforce it to the letter.
Do you think they're playing us?
On the nuclear issue, no. I think we have enough insight into what they're doing to be able to say we have to distrust but verify. What I am focused on is all the other malicious activities of the Iranians. Ballistic missiles, support for terrorists, being involved in Syria, Yemen, and other places, supporting Hezbollah, Hamas. But here's the difference, Matt. I would rather, as president, be dealing with Iran on all of those issues without having to worry as much about their racing for a nuclear weapon. So we have made the world safer. We just have to make sure it's enforced.
Hallie.
Okay, you know, what's amazing here is that you see how Matt Lauer pretends like he knows what he's talking about. Like, are they playing us? Like, let me use like some schoolyard parlance to make it seem like I've got my arms really wrapped tight around this. Are they playing us? Are they doing the old Razmatoo with us? Moron. But I thought you did very well there. I mean, like you could actually learn something from that answer. Now, that's problematic in the context of a presidential election. Hello, you. I'm Sam Seder. Looking for smart progressive talk that is occasionally amusing? Well, subscribe to our YouTube feed. Subscribe to our podcast. Like us on Facebook. And just generally enjoy us.